Ridiculous.
Ridiculous, but I bet it was for a significant amount of money.
Still ridiculous.
Yeah, but fun. I'd watch it. Look, Jake Paul wants to test himself against actual, not just world champion, but one of the greatest of all time.
Really fought, and it wasn't fixed, Jake Paul would not survive 45 seconds.
I don't know about that. I think it would take a few rounds.
Really?
But yeah, first of all, Jake is a lot bigger. Jake's a lot bigger.
But what weight would they fight?
Well,
Let's be honest, when Joe Rogan heard Jake Paul might fight me, his brain probably blue screened like a broken laptop.
Not about the number. If it was about the number, we could have started up. I would have tell you, I'm not just interested. It makes no sense for me. It's not my what I'm looking at right now.
Ridiculous, he yelled twice just to make sure the universe heard him. I mean, Jake Paul stepping into the ring with me is like a house cat challenging a lion because it saw Rocky once. But Joe, being Joe, still admits he'd watch it because chaos sells. And this fight? It's chaos wearing boxing gloves. Joe knows what happens when someone with real knockout power lands clean. I don't tap people out, I delete their consciousness.
Nikista calls Francis. This is Francis telling the story. Nikista calls Francis and says, hey, we need your help. We need an opponent for Jake. Tank is out. And Francis says, all right. And Francis says, well, how can I help you? Nikista says, well, we're looking at an opponent for Jake.
Jake's confidence might be cute on YouTube, but in my world, the punches don't come with editing cuts or slow-mo music. When I hit, people forget what city they're in. So yes, Joe's right, it's ridiculous, but fun? Oh, it would be fun for me. Imagine Jake trying to throw a jab, realizing halfway it's a bad idea, and then boom, lights out, camera off, career rethink. Rogan just says what everyone's thinking. If Jake's testing himself, he's about to fail the test like a kid who studied TikToks instead of textbooks. Look, I respect ambition, but math doesn't lie.
Fight Jake to replace Javante. I'm like, who's Jake? You know, like, I was so confused, you know, like, I wasn't expecting that at all. And he said, yeah, Jake Paul, you know, he's fighting. And I'm like, no, bro, come on. Don't disrespect me like that. And then,
Jake Paul saying he's a lot bigger might work when he's flexing on Instagram, but compared to me, that's like saying a chihuahua is kinda close to a wolf. He's out here counting followers, I'm counting knockouts. He says, what weight would we fight at? Buddy, you'd have to fight at, oh God, please don't wait. You're talking about crossing divisions like it's a TikTok trend, but every pound I carry hits like a meteor. Here's the thing. This isn't even personal, it's physics. You can't YouTube your way through a right hand from someone who once broke a man's orbital bone by accident. If Jake steps in my ring, he's not fighting a man. They
even say like, they even come out after and say, and what if the number are good? He send out some number. I'm like, it's not about the number. If it was about the number, we could have started up. I would have tell you, I'm not just interested. It make no sense for me. It's not my...
Fighting gravity, physics, and his own survival instinct. The only number that matters? The count to 10 after the ref waves it off. Joe Rogan said it himself, I'm one of the most dangerous punchers in combat sports. Translation, if I swing, the Wi-Fi cuts out. Every opponent I've faced has had one thing in common. They woke up wondering what year it was. So when I hear that Jake Paul doesn't know what he's getting into, I laugh. Because he really doesn't. This isn't the same as fighting retired MMA guys or old boxers. My punches come with trauma and therapy bills. Jake's used to Showtime lights, I bring blackout nights. See, I don't even have to hate Jake. I can like the guy and still destroy him. That's what makes it funny. I don't need beef to break bones, just opportunity. Rogan's right to be concerned. He's seen enough fights to know power doesn't play fair. And mine? It doesn't play at all. So apparently Jake's people called my team after Gervonta Davis bailed. We need your help, they said. Bro, help?
Tank Davis is out. And Francis says, all right, but specifically, how can I help you? Nikista takes a third swing at the bat. He says, well, we need an opponent. We need a boxer. We need a partner. We need somebody to fight Jake. Tank is out. And Francis asks him again, okay, what?
You don't call Francis Ngannou for help unless your definition of help includes waking up in the hospital. It's like ordering a nuclear strike because your firecracker didn't go off. My manager thought it was a prank. Jake's fighting a lightweight one day, then thinks, how about the scariest heavyweight alive? That's not matchmaking, that's a midlife crisis.
Paul goes from fighting Gervonta Davis to calling out Francis Ngannou. Jake Paul don't want those problems. I can't say it any different. Jake Paul does not want any Francis Ngannou problems. He don't. He does not want those issues. While I think it's crazy and I credit him for doing that, and I'm surprised he did that, this could be a ploy. Him poking out his chest, saying, I want Francis. He don't want those Francis Ngannou problems. I don't care what Anthony Joshua did to Francis Ngannou. Jake Paul gets in there with Francis. Francis will knock his head off this planet. You don't want those Francis problems. I watched Francis put down Tyson Fury. Sure, Anthony Joshua beat him. But even if Jake got power, I don't think he got power to be dealing with Francis.
Joe Rogan called it borderline reckless. Nah, Joe, it's fully reckless. It's delusional. Jake went from Tank Davis to Tank Division. This is what happens when marketing meets madness. If they really wanted a show, sure, I'd give them a show. One punch, one meme, one crater where Jake used to be. Michael Bisping said it best, this isn't a step up. It's a leap off a cliff. Going from Gervonta Davis to me. That's like going from chess to dodgeball with grenades.
Mike Tyson, who's 58, Anderson Silva, who was way past his prime, people like Nate Diaz, who were way smaller. Gervonta Davis really did take the piss. I mean, that was just the craziest shout ever. To go from fighting Gervonta Davis, way smaller, to now fighting boxing Francis Ngannou. I mean, listen, if he does it, fair play. But I just call #1 bullshit on this brother because I don't see this happening. No.
This is #1 bullshit.
I just don't believe it. I don't believe it at all. Nate Diaz, yeah, 100%. I mean, he beat him once already. I'm sure Nate Diaz would love to get another big payday because obviously boxing on Netflix and going up against Jake Paul, given his success, given the name.
Jake's logic is wild. Can't fight a lightweight? Okay, let's try a monster who punches like Thanos. Bisping laughed and so did everyone else. Because the idea that Jake could even see over the ropes after one of my shots is comedy gold. I respect Jake's hustle, but let's call it what it is. He's chasing headlines, not hand speed. He wants a viral moment, not a victory. Well, the only viral thing after this fight would be the replay of me turning his Wi-Fi off with an uppercut. So yeah, the rumors are true. They called, they offered numbers, big ones. But I said no because it made 0 sense. Not because I'm scared, but because I don't fight for clout. I fight for legacy. They said, what if the money's right? I said,
that he hasn't. Given the magnitude of his events, Nate Diaz will get paid an absolute fortune once again. We know that it wasn't too long ago, Jake Paul was talking about boxing Anthony Joshua. And that never came to fruition. There's absolutely no way he would box Anthony Joshua. If he did, if he was to do something like that, whether it be Anthony Joshua or Francis Ngannou, I'd give him his props, I'd give him his credit, and you never know. Maybe he would do it just for the clout, because in many ways it would be, sorry about the airport notifications, it would be, you know, an admirable thing to do, and it would be Jake Paul taking on somebody.
If it's about the number, we'd already be counting. This isn't charity work. I'm not here to give YouTubers content. The truth? I laughed when I heard it. Not disrespectfully, but because it was surreal, like being asked to race a tricycle. Jake's team wanted a show. I want challenges that make sense. And no offense, but this one didn't. Daniel Cormier said it straight, if Jake fights me, he doesn't want those Francis problems. And DC's right, because these aren't normal problems. These are lose your memory and wake up in a new timeline problems. Cormier knows what heavyweight power feels like. He's been in there. He's seen men crumble. And he knows Jake's confidence can't block a hook. People think I'm exaggerating, but ask Tyson Fury how it felt when I dropped him. And he's the heavyweight champ. So imagine what happens when someone who vlogs his sparring sessions tries it. Spoiler, it's not trending, it's tragic. X special than a fight. Analysts keep comparing it to my bout with Tyson Fury. Sure, that was a crossover, but I came to fight. Jake's team? They want headlines, not history. And I get it, clout's addictive. But if he steps in with me, that clout turns into clouds, as in, he'll be seeing stars. Boxing isn't a place for wishful thinking and influencer bravado. It's a place for pain, timing, and survival. And unless Jake plans to vlog from a stretcher, this spectacle would end in silence. The Gervonta Davis fight collapsing wasn't just bad luck, it was a business earthquake. Promoters lost millions, sponsors pulled out, and Jake? He's out here trying to turn chaos into content. Tim Bradley said it, this isn't smart business, it's rookie-level desperation. MVP promotions went from most valuable to maybe very poor decisions. When fights fall apart, people lose trust. And chasing the world's scariest heavyweight right after? That's not rebranding, that's rebounding off a cliff. I've traded blows with giants. So when people ask, would you fight Jake Paul? I laugh. That's like asking a lion if he wants to wrestle a hamster. What's the point? Still, you gotta admire the audacity. Jake's hustle is loud, fearless, and just the right amount of stupid. He's the kid poking a sleeping bear, not realizing it's not a zoo animal, it's me. So here's my message to Jake, straight from the predator himself. Keep chasing your dreams, brother. But if your dream ever crosses into my ring, make sure your insurance is paid up, because I don't fight for clicks, I fight to conquer.